This is Rockin' with J Man is with Don't Believe in Ghosts. How you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you? Haven't
Good.
seen you yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while too.
It's good to see you still rocking the interviews and growing up a little bit, you
Yeah.
know. Awesome.
So for those who are watching and not familiar with you, can you tell me all about yourself?
All about myself. Wow. I don't even know where to start. For those not familiar, yeah, I sing, play guitar in Don't Believe in Ghosts. And yeah, we're an indie alt rock pop type, band out of New York City. And we just released a brand new single called Always Right. And you might have seen us on the Apple TV show uh We Crashed.
And your new single is Always Right, right? Just dropped, right?
Just dropped, man. Yeah.
So can you tell me all about this song?
Yeah, so this song is about the internal struggles that we all kind of feel, like we all sort of have like that voice in us that says we could do it, and then sometimes we have that voice in it that says we can't, and gives and fills us with doubt or makes us kind of overthink things. So the song is basically about battling that and ultimately hoping that, the more positive side inside you wins.
Is it personal to you, this song?
Yeah, I think it's pretty personal. I think it's something that everybody deals with. So while it's personal, it's something that I think is universal as well.
What did you go through to make you write it?
I think it's every day. It's you wake up and you're like, what am I doing? And you doubt the struggle. I mean, you must feel it too yourself, but like I see your drive is incredible, like for what you're doing. So I think you got great drive and you're winning that battle. It's people who sort of have an idea to do something and then they don't kind of move on it, because they've already decided that it won't work or that it'll fail and things like that. So that's the kind of stuff, that we're trying to be like cognizant of and push out of our lives.
Will the rest of the album sound like the single?
No, no. So the full record as it unveils itself, the last single we did, This Is Paradise, was a little bit more of uh, a little of a heavier song. The songs we have, they're kind of all over the place. We're sort of just, writing how we're feeling at a moment and over many, many moments. So the record's going to have a lot of different feels to it. But I think the thing that this has, that a lot of those songs have, is just a little bit more of an organic musical feel to it.
And you were on We Crash. How did that come about?
Yeah, so we have a friend that was actually working with the show and came to us and asked if we wanted to be on it. And it was kind of crazy to think of like, performing on the show. I mean, like getting your song in a TV show is super cool. But like actually being in the show performing was awesome. And then they put the song in the soundtrack. So it was great. The funny thing is we filmed for 2 hours straight. Um to get that scene, and then they use like 10 seconds. So you're like, so but going to watch it, we're like, man, 2 hours, the whole episode's gonna be about us.
Yeah.
Like you watch it and you're like, nah, it's not, but that's okay. It was cool, great experience.
Did you meet Jared Leto?
We did not. We met we Jared Leto was like in a tent next door to where we were. But yeah, we met what's her face who's in it. um I don't know why my mind is totally blanking, but Anne Hathaway.
Who do you think is the best Joker?
Oh, the best Joker?
Yeah,
Oh, come on. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix. Okay. If Jared Leto heard that, bro, you don't know what he can do, bro. He can go in that. Ah, ah, ah,
No, nothing against Jared Leto, but
ah.
they're not even on the same level.
Yeah, I don't get that. Fucking, he doesn't even laugh, kind of. He just goes like,
In all fairness for Jared Leto, like he probably would have done the Joaquin Phoenix movie amazing and done that role really well as an actor. Like he could totally do it. The problem is that just the role that he was doing in the version he was doing was like super comic booky. And I think it was just like it wasn't really necessarily his fault because it was the style of the movie that he kind of like went along with, which just you can't compete with what ultimately the Joker was. So
"What do you think of Morbius?"
I didn't see Morbius.
You didn't see Morbius? Am I saying that right? Am I saying that? Morbius?
I
Morbius?
guess. I, mean,
I,
I didn't see it, so nobody's ever asked me that question before. So congrats on the absolutely unique question.
what was it like? What was it like the first time you heard yourself on the radio?
Oh, dude, I mean, you know, it's such a cool thing. It's such a cool thing. Like to hear it. It's sort of the first time I ever so knowing that it was going to be on and listening for it is an interesting thing, but when you hear it and you don't know it's going to be on and it just comes on, that's the really weird one. Because I remember hearing it in a store one time and it felt like I was like, I know this. Who is this? Because it was so out of place to hear yourself, so it's like, wait, this is who is this? It wasn't like, oh, this is me. It was like, this sounds familiar. What, it was such a weird thing, but it's super cool.
So, do you have a big tour plan this year?
So we do have some touring coming up, which we're announcing. The first batch of shows is just kind of like being announced, which is like Ohio and Chicago and Indiana and like the Midwest area. But there's gonna be a lot more coming. So
What was it like touring after the pandemic?
Um, it felt really good to get back out and play. We were, I think you're familiar, like right before the pandemic was like we had sold out Bowery Ballroom in New York. We had done our first tour. We were just lining up some amazing stuff. I mean, everything was great. And then bam, it all hit. Um, so everything kind of got put to the side for a second. It was a weird thing to slow us down, So finally, like having that and coming out and playing for the first time after it was one of the most amazing, moments. It was awesome.
What is life like on the road for you?
Well, it depends because like, in the last band that I was in, we were out for 3 years straight, touring. And to be honest, it felt like jail, it kind of sucked. It was like 3 years straight. Every time you go home, like at first, it's really cool because your friends and family and everybody's like, oh, that's so cool. You're going on tour. But what happens is like as you're gone for like a month, then 2 months, and then they don't care anymore. And then they don't even want to see your posts about it because it looks the same. You're doing the same thing every day. Who cares? And then after like 6 months to a year, you're no longer a part of their lives in a way, like a lot of friends disappear, a lot of relationships change and things change. And then you come home for like a month and then it's like, then you just get, then you're going to go back out for like 3 months. So in those cases, it gets a little bit hard. It definitely does. And you have the same conversation every single night. You see somebody and they're like, it's a great conversation, but it's like you have the same one every single night. You really don't feel like you evolve as a person. That's kind of like how this band even started, was because with the old band I was out for 3 years, you didn't have that creative outlet either because you're just playing the music. So it wasn't until coming home that I was like able to just like be creative again. And that was when just things kind of like moved in this direction.
What's the best venue you've ever played?
So I've been very lucky, having played Jones Beach Amphitheater and having played House of Blues in Cleveland, and when we sold out Bowery Ballroom in New York. I mean, that's like, those are legendary places. uh, I just a lot of great places and just super lucky to have played all of them.
And what's the worst?
Oh, well, I'll tell you this. We were in Savannah one time, Savannah, Georgia. We were playing like on the edge of town, like in the armpit of Savannah. And somebody came in to rob the place while we were on stage. And I guess they couldn't hear when they were trying to rob the place. They couldn't hear that they were trying to rob the place. So the person left and went next door and robbed the liquor store next door while we were on stage. But like we were on stage and I was like, yo, like I don't know what's going on over there, but it looks like this place is being robbed, you know? It was like pretty scary. And it wasn't until we got off that we realized the reality of it, that a guy came in with a gun, you know, and was trying to rob the place. And in Hayes, Kansas, we played a great show there, great venue, but I went out to get the bus and a dude came up in a pickup truck with a gun and he's like, I could kill you. And I was like, the
Ah,
fuck? I
bro,
was like, fuck? Yeah. He's like, you're from New York, huh? You ain't from around here. I'm like, oh, dude, we're not doing this right now. Luckily enough, a cop pulled somebody over like at the corner right there at the same time. So I was like, all right. And I jumped in the thing and left. And then the police escorted us out of town because they said that there's some crazies there in Hayes, Kansas.
bro. Yeah, oh my God, it would have been so funny if he said that, and then you just went like, "Well, we can do it that way, partner," and you just pulled out like your shirt, like, "We can do it that way, partner."
We could do it that way, Parno.
Oh
Fuck
no,
that
try
way.
say it the New York way. Say it the New York way.
Yo, we can fucking do it that way if you want, but we ain't fucking doing it. Right
Hey,
now, it's
that's us
fucking
New. They,
you piece of shit.
they talk real funny. They talk very funny.
Yeah,
I could kill you.
that's what he said.
That's the most random thing ever.
It
Like,
was pretty fucking random, dude. And I was like, first, no, first he goes, "You ain't from around here," and I was like, "No, sir, I'm from New York. How you doing? Great to meet you." You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, "Yeah, how you doing?" And
and
then he had that look in the eyes. There's a look you never want to see it in your life, but there where somebody has no soul, like there's emptiness in the eyes, and it's the scariest fucking thing you ever see in your life. The scariest thing. And I could see it in his eyes. It was like as if he was, when you see like a person who like tortures animals or like,
oh
something,
damn. Ah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that, like crazy look in the eye. That's what he had. And I was like, it was no joke. And he had the gun on his lap. I mean, I think I'm just very lucky that the police officer pulled somebody over at that time. It was like I don't know what was gonna happen there. Yeah.
did you ever have a crazy interaction with a fan?
Well, if that's not one, well, he wasn't at the show. Had he been at the show, he probably would have had a little bit more appreciation. Have I ever had a crazy interaction with Dan? No, not really. I mean, everybody's kind of cool, you know. If anybody, nobody really crosses the line with us, you know. I mean, there's sometimes that, people come in and they maybe a girl comes in and she's just too aggressive, and if you had, I'm married, so it's like gets weird and it's like but other than that, not really.
What do you do on your downtime for fun?
Oh my goodness. Well, I do. It's weird because downtime's a real strange thing for me because I also have a production company. I made a TV show. I make a lot of music videos. I do some stuff in the music business, do a lot of different things. So for me, and I have a son now too, a kid. So there's not such really a thing as downtime, maybe play some video games or go one wheeling. I have a one wheel, so I love riding on that thing.
Hey, congratulations on my kid, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What's next for you?
What is next? So, yeah, so we have this song just came out and the video just came out. We have a bunch more songs coming out this year, and we're gonna probably make videos for each one of those because we have a lot of fun making the videos and just doing crazy shit for the videos, It's just like just kind of make fun of rock and roll. It's like ridiculous, so we just have fun with it. So we have a couple more videos coming, and we'll be doing some touring this year, and hopefully we'll be playing in virtual reality soon. So
Oh my God. Um, I got something to tell you about virtual reality. Um,
yeah,
we're actually going to be doing this thing on Saturday, but yeah, that would be so cool. Yeah, everything's starting to come digital, but especially at the museum. I live in New York, I live in Buffalo, and they have
I
this.
was born in Buffalo.
Yeah, you are from Buffalo?
I was born there. I
Oh,
was a
you.
but I was born at Sisters of Charity Hospital right in Buffalo.
Yo! I was born there too. I was born there.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Virtual high five.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's cool. Yeah. So we were born in the same hospital.
But
What
definitely
the
just
fuck are the
apart.
chances of that, dude?
Yeah. What are the chances?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
But yeah, they have the science museum, like the world of science or something like that. And it has like sometimes it has a little history, but they always do these like things every once in a while, like look for the dinosaurs. They do like something like that, but they're
Yeah.
doing something really cool. They're doing like into virtual reality. So you can like there's gonna be a whole bunch of digital stuff and like you can basically be God there for a second, like in a virtual
Oh, I
reality.
love it. I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I love VR stuff. I love all that. And it's only going to get better and better. It's so cool.
Do you
Yeah.
ever think we'll be that advanced where we could put like a microchip or something like that and we can like do Ready Player One where like your consciousness like goes inside of that like thing? Like
Your
it's
lifetime, buddy. You're going to see it. You're going to see a lot of things. I mean, you just think of like, I mean, the iPhone's 10 years old. Like, that's nothing. And look at how much it's changed the world, right? It's just over 10 years old. So, like, think of how much it's changed the world. I mean, it's moving so, so fast that, like, we're going to see such ridiculous stuff. And the things that are going on right now with artificial intelligence and automation and I mean, it's crazy. We're going to see a lot of good stuff, a lot of interesting stuff.
how do my followers follow you?
So I think the best thing to do is to remember the band name,
Oh,
right?
uh,
Don't believe in ghosts. And we're not talking about like ghosts that fly around your house that you imagine. We're talking about like ghosts of your past. Like the band name is about not giving energy to the ghosts of your past. So if you remember Don't Believe in Ghosts, just Google it and there we are.
okay.
Or go to don'tbelieveinghosts.com.
Okay. Do you guys have any cool merch?
We do. We do. We have like a really dope shirt that is an exorcist shirt. So it's like a little girl going through an exorcism and she's flying in the air. It says "Don't believe in ghosts." It's awesome. That's probably one of the most popular ones we have.
You know you gotta hook your boy up with some fresh gear then.
You got it, dude. You got
Bro,
it.
school's in, bro. I need some new clothes, man. Need
Get me your address. Shoot it over through Shona and I'll take care of it. All right.
Okay. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
What is your favorite memory from playing a show?
I mean, I got to tell you, like, I think like coming back from COVID and that first show back is probably one of the coolest things. I have a lot of them. The first time coming out of my old band, and then the first time we did a show as Don't Believe in Ghosts, that was also special too because it was like all these people showed up to see us, and it was like they had never heard of like what is this thing, and the fact that they stuck with me to like a new project is super cool. Anytime we go out and play and anybody shows up, it's a crazy crazy thing, right? The last show we did was like a week ago. We did our release party and it was sold out, and that was like, how special is that? It's like it's just like stuff like that's so cool. So luckily there's not one great moment. We've had a lot of great moments, so very grateful.
And what's your worst?
Hmm. I would say being on stage when the place is almost robbed. That was pretty bad. It was also like 8 people in the thing, and half of them worked there. That was
Yeah.
on a Tuesday night in Savannah, Georgia. Stuff like that's like tough. You got to battle it out and do that kind of thing. But shows like that were like really hard. You know.
Fun question time. You're on death row and it's time for a final meal. What's on the menu?
Hmm. I don't know. I mean, I would probably say, probably have a big steak, you know, and I'd have to Google it because there's got to be something you eat that makes it really hard for them when they electrocute you, maybe something that'll make me shit my pants a lot or throw up a lot. So this way, like they have to clean it up if I'm on death row.
If you want to go, like, if you want to eat something and you want to die and you don't want to get like electrocuted or something like that, you should order polar bear liver. It has a lot of vitamin A. Very.
So it slows the effects of the electricity. Is that what you're saying?
No, it'll just kill you in general.
Oh, well, just that's it. You're dying.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it'll kill you. It has a lot of bad stuff. You can eat it, but it has way too much vitamin A. It'll kill you instantly.
yeah, crazy.
How are you going out though?
What on the in death row?
Yeah, like you can choose like all this.
I feel like, I'm a bit of a showman, so I would like the electricity. I want the eyes to fly out of the head.
Whoa, bro!
If we're gonna do it, if we're gonna do it that way, I'd much rather like a big show, like a spectacle, like explode, something.
Okay, yeah, yeah. It's your
Good. Think
opinion.
about it. You
Yeah.
want people to remember you, and those people are going to remember you if you blow up in front of them when they think that they're, executing you.
In their nightmares, so they'll remember you from trauma. They won't remember you for good.
That's true.
Wouldn't that hurt you though the most? You would be electrocuted. That has to be the.
You're on your way out. Doesn't matter. Might as well go
It
out.
doesn't matter. Just
Fuck is it, man? At least get some feelings for the last minute.
if you could have any superpower, what would you choose?
Hmm. I would probably choose extended life, you know, a
Like
superpower of pure health. Just
immortality?
no, I don't want to live forever because, it's going to be very lonely in the future at some point, where everybody's gone, and then you're left. Reminds me of like the end of like, ironically enough, AI. Did you ever see the Spielberg Stanley Kubrick movie?
Oh yeah.
Bro, do you remember the very end of that where the AI is still alive, like thousands of years in the future, like looking for its mom that died thousands of years before, like stuff like that?
Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so sad.
Brutal, brutal. That like gets you really hard, that ending. Like I always think about that. So yeah, not eternal, but I would say as a superpower, I would want like perfect health. Like that would be like the superpower that I would pick. So I was just always perfectly healthy. And that would be a cool
Oh,
superpower.
like something like you can eat like 60 pounds of food and it would like you won't even gain weight and you won't even get any like health things wrong with you or something like that.
Yeah, no health things will ever bother you. I think
Okay.
that would be an amazing superpower.
So you could never get cancer or something like that.
Exactly.
Wait, could they
Exactly.
actually take your blood and like could that make like a cure for cancer or something? Or
Oh, maybe that would be cool. Then they could
yeah.
take my superpower blood and save people's lives. That would be awesome.
Okay. Let's say you can choose any song ever written by any band and you can change that song where you were the one who wrote it and it was your song. What song would it be and why?
Mm, I don't know. I mean, it depends on like the time of my life, right? At certain points in my life, I could think of songs like that. But like the way like the world is now, it's like things are so different, music's so different now that I mean, you know, it would depend on the period of time. There are songs that I hear now that I'm like, oh my God, I love that so much. I wish I wrote that, or things like that. But there's not just one, there's multiple songs. I think like, you know, um, U2 definitely has a few songs where I'm like, oh man, I wish I wrote that, like just epic songs. But yet, who knows? I mean, yeah, I'm happy with what I write.
Well, thank you for being on my show. I hope the next time we
Of
talk
course.
about the backstage on one of your shows, it's been a pleasure speaking with you again, and I would gladly see you again. Okay?
Yo, it's the same hospital, bro.
The same hospital.
You
Now that
got
would be crazy.
We got that. Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me, bro. All
No,
right.
it was my pleasure, man. You have a nice one.
Awesome, brother. We'll see you soon.
See you, man. Have a
Later,
nice
buddy.
one. Bye.